Hey guys and gals, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to walk you through today my V-Strom 650. I'm going to give you a review of it, kind of a thorough review of what I think about the bike. I'm going to review it according to three categories. We're going to go for comfort, we're going to talk about the performance, and then we're going to talk about the power at the end, kind of those three categories. And what I'm riding is a 2005 model V-Strom 650. I call it Little Blue because it's not the big one, and that's all right with me. I kind of like it. So I enjoy my bike. Up front, I'm going to say I love it. It's just been amazing for me. I've had it for about a year and a half now, and I've put about 8,000 miles on it. So I ride a lot. And I bought it at 10,000 miles and now it's 18,000 miles. So yeah, it's well kept, it's well taken care of. I've put a bunch of mods on it, so stick around after the review if you want to see some of the mods. I'm going to go ahead and play some clips of a ride as I talk so that you won't get bored. But so as far as comfort, let's get right into it, the review. I have an aftermarket seat on this V-Strom. I do have the original seat, and I've ridden on my original seat. With the original seat, what you'll have is a very narrow, sitting area. And with this aftermarket seat, you can see it's kind of, it kind of widens out in the back, and it comes together up front. That extra sitting space does a lot for comfort. This is not a name brand seat. I think it was bought from Amazon. It came with the bike when I bought it used. The guy had this upgraded seat. I think he said there's an extra inch of padding, and so it makes it a bit taller, the seat a bit taller, but at 6'2", at 6'2", I'm comfortable on it. I'm a tall rider. So, but going back to the seat, the original seat, after about a 4-hour ride, I was feeling a little bit painful, and I was like, I need to get off and stretch. With this small upgrade, I think it's $250. It's the cheapest. It's the cheapest aftermarket seat you can buy. No name. Maybe it's called Gel something. But with that seat upgrade, just the added width in the back of the area where you sit down, it spreads out the weight, and it makes it so that I went on a 9-hour ride and I was comfortable the whole time. At the end of the day, I slept well, and I woke up the next day and I could walk, and no troubles with a sore saddle. So sitting, I think a big part of that is because of the sitting position. The sitting position is quite upright. The upright sitting position is my favorite. I grew up on dirt bikes, and I like just I don't like the tuck, and I don't like the laid back of the cruiser. I like the upright, standard style, adventure, naked bike, what have you. But together with the seating, the sitting position, and that seat upgrade, which is, like I said, about $250 maybe, I could ride all day. Comfort is amazing. With the extra inch, it makes the peg, the distance to the pegs not so bad. My legs do kind of sit up under me a little bit more than maybe some other riders, or because of having such long legs, but I'm okay with that. So the other thing, windscreen. Let's talk about windscreen. So the V-Strom has this windscreen adjustable plate back here. This mount is adjustable to 3 positions. You can have it all the way down, you can have it in the middle, or you can have it all the way up. And what I did is I bought, it came with the Puig. The man who sold it to me had a Puig touring windscreen, which is a little bit taller. Let me show you the difference. Here's the stock windscreen, and there's the Puig. So it's about 4 inches up top that you add on top of that for the windscreen. Now, in the summertime, I love having the Suzuki windscreen on all the way down, just because I like wind on the body in Texas. Yeah, in Texas, we've got to have lots and lots of wind. Being that it is winter, I need to be a little bit more protected. So here is the trouble with the touring windscreen. The noise that it puts onto the helmet is horrible for me, for my height. So sitting way up high, when I had this touring screen on, it would block a lot of the wind, but it would put all the turbulence right onto my helmet, and it would just sound horrible. I couldn't hear anything when I got up to speed. So I bought this Puig windshield extender. It hasn't put any like vibrations or buffering or anything on the windscreen, but it did take away all that sound. It turned into a, and that's okay for me. So right out of the box, so to speak, the windscreen, the shorter windscreen is going to put a lot of wind on your head, especially if you're a taller rider. And then even if you make the upgrade to the touring size windscreen from any type of aftermarket, depending on your rider size, if you're tall, it may put the turbulence in just all the wrong places. But again, you do have a little bit of extra tuning just in the fact that this has 3 settings of mounted. Right now it's set at the highest, and then that would go down 1 inch or 1 inch more to adjust. It takes a little bit of time to adjust it. You have to take the screen off, and then you have to take the mount off, and then you have to put the mount back on, and then the screen back on. But you can do it in 10 minutes, no problem. So comfort-wise, wind protection, not great. Sitting position and riding comfort, amazing, especially with a small upgrade to, like I said, a little bit more comfortable of a seat. Then you can ride all day. So I'm going to say comfort-wise, right out of the box, maybe a 7.5 to an 8. But with the mods I've got on here, I'm going to say it's an 8.5. Just amazing comfort. It's not a Goldwing for sure, but it is a comfortable bike. Let's talk about performance. I have taken this in all of the Texas twisties. Now, when we talk about Texas, North Texas is straight and flat roads as far as the eye can see. So I've really looked around to find old farm to market roads that have 90-degree turns in it, and I have really pushed it through some of those turns, leaned it, gone pretty fast and tried, I don't want to say gone fast, I've gone the speed limit right through all those turns. And the thing about this bike is you don't fight it. You don't have to fight anything to get it into a turn or out of a turn. It's got enough power to pull it out itself out of a turn, and it's got enough maneuverability to just jump right into a turn, jump right out of a turn, and I like it for that. I will say the front suspension, I've gone through several fork seals. I just, the bike's just been out of commission for 4 weeks as I was waiting on parts, and then waiting on time to redo the fork seals, and then I got sick, and then we had bad weather, so I'm just dying to get back on the bike. But I've gone through several fork seals, so what I did is I replaced all the bushings and sliders and seals and spacers and whatever else. So I just totally redid the front forks, and I'm hoping they'll stay, I'm hoping they'll stay put much longer this time around. Like I said, I've had it for 1.5 years, and I think I've redone the forks twice. So unless it's my riding style, I don't know. As far as everything else, maintenance wise, I've had 0 problems. It runs like a dream. And performance, like I said, it's very easy to ride. As far as being tall, I think that would be the only concern for a new rider. This is such an easy bike to control. It looks bulky up top, but all of this is just hollow plastic. And actually that makes it really comfortable on the knees. Not a lot of wind hits your legs. So even in cold, your legs have just a little bit more protection than you would with a regular bike, a street bike. So I'm going to say for performance, it's got a solid, let's say it's a solid 7.5 or 8. Let's go for 8. I'm going to give it a high score as well. So 8.5 on comfort, 8 on performance. I love it. It'll get you where you're going, and it's so easy to ride. So easy to ride. Now let's talk about power. I think this is where I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but it could be better. This is a super bland bike. When you get it on the road, it's just bland. It's not, as a mid-range bike, a 650, you kind of expect that. But at the same time, here's what I do like about it. When you're off the line in traffic, you can get yourself off the line quicker than anything else on the road, and you can get yourself well in front of the flow of traffic. After that, though, it's not great. I mean, it's just, there's nothing exciting about it as far as when you're on the road. So the excitement comes more from like pushing the turns and the twists, and that would be exciting. Just like I said, in the summertime, swap it back to the factory windscreen and put it all the way down at the lowest setting, get the air on your body, just enjoying what motorcycling is. That's enough. That being said, I often miss the horsepower of my dad's Bandit, the 1250 inline 4, and so just the comparison to have that other bike in my mind, it's like, man, I don't feel it here. So I have wheelied it. I think I've gotten the wheelie a foot off the ground, but I've got so many modifications that I've got a heavy skid plate and crash bars on it. So as far as wheeling, you really got to push it, and I don't like to strain the engine that much. But I have wheelied it about a foot off the ground and held it for a second or two. But this is not a super powerful machine that'll just scare you and wow you. But once again, if you are, like I said, a beginner rider and you're tall, this is a great bike to choose because it won't scare you. It won't really wow you and thrill you and get you to go crazy. It's a boring bike, but that makes it amazing for commuting. I love this bike for commuting. So as far as power goes, the last category, I'm just going to give it a 6.5 because, hey, it's a 650. But it does what it does. It's so comfortable. It performs really, really well. You never have to fight it. If you're in a lane and you got to switch lanes really quick, you can just zip over to another lane without a moment's notice, So that's my review of the V-Strom. Now let's go through some of the mods I've got here. These are the Puig crash bars. I've been very, very, very happy with them. I love them. They went on really easy and they've stayed on, so I like that. They look nice, even though on the first, I think it was the second ride that I did. I did set down my bike. I didn't drop it so much as I set it down. So I got to work and I put the kickstand. I put the kickstand down and started to lean it over, and then realized the kickstand didn't go all the way, and it flicked back up, And as I was leaning the bike, it was too heavy for my bad ankle. I've got a really bad ankle, and so I was like, I just got to set it down. So I set it down on this crash bar and the saddlebag, and then got off the bike, picked it back up, set it on. So that's the only thing I've ever done to the bike as far as dropping or bad stuff. So that's the only bad thing I've done to the bike. But let's talk about this skid plate. So this is Rave Tech. Let me get a good shot of that. Rave Tech. I ordered the Rave Tech skid plate because they do custom stuff for V-Stroms, and it looked great. And this is one that you can mount from your crash bar. Multiple different types of crash bars. They have an adapter kit. If it doesn't fit one set of crash bars, it'll fit another. And then it goes all the way back to the frame. So it mounts on the frame. It doesn't mount to the engine or anything like that. And so I was so excited about it. However, you just barely touch it with a wrench and it will flake off this powder coating. So powder coating is trash, and putting it on, installing it was horrific. It was so tight of a fit. It was so hard to maneuver and to get onto this bracket. So there's a bracket that you put on first, and then you put the plate onto the bracket, and to get it all together, it was just a pain. So I'm really upset about that. And just every time you touch it or bump it with anything, if a rock hits it, the powder coating flakes off. So that's that. Let's get to some other mods. I've got some grip puppies, the original grip puppies. They are super comfortable, but I think I'm going to remove them just because I like the feel, because they grip so well. But because they're a little bit thicker than regular, my thumb here, on this hand specifically, not so much on my throttle hand for some reason, this hand, it feels like my thumb has some pain right in there, because instead of grabbing a thinner grip, it feels like my thumb is being pushed in at a strange place, and so I don't like that. It's just too wide for my liking. Techform, I will say Techform is the best phone holder in the world. It's just amazing. Windscreen extender, that's a Puig. I love that one. It, like I said, it cleared up all the problems of wind noise. Then this little piece of trash, the cramp buster. So the cramp buster, I'm not so sure about that. I think it's a gimmick. There's no good place to put it. You know, when you're riding along, if you want to rest your palm on it, my palm goes like this and the buster goes like this, so I have to twist my arm in a strange way, or I have to put my arm over here like this, and then of course that hits my thumb really close to that. And with a gloved hand, I actually one day accidentally hit that, and I'm like, what's going on? And so start slowing down, and then I I gotta flip the switch again, and then jump start it as I'm flying down the highway. So that's that. I love my saddlebags. I love my shad top case. I just love it to death, and that's about it. So that's my motorcycle. I love her. I'm gonna keep her. I'm gonna keep going and fix her every time she needs it. And yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, like, subscribe, and notifications. We'll see you next time. Be safe, be kind, be happy.